Hello everybody, this is Brad with the Guitologist, and today we're going to take a look at the repair of a 1973 Harmony H82G, and this is in avocado green, as you can see. These are pretty cool guitars. They have the slider switches instead of knobs, which makes them pretty unique. They also have kind of a distinctive F-hole here. It's hard to miss. Gold foil pickups. This one's got a little bit of damage here at the end, just some chipping paint. Other than that, it's in great shape. The neck is nice and straight. The only thing that I really need to do here, and this is something that a lot of guitars suffer from and eventually need attention for, especially these Harmonies, because their nuts are plastic. But as you can see here, the plastic on this nut is chipped off on the end. Somebody probably knocked it against something and chipped a big chip out of it, so there's nothing to hold the E string. In this video we're going to show exactly how to fix that, the easiest way to fix that and save the original nut. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, stick around and we'll get into that. Okay, again, as you can see, for a little better angle here, you can see the big chip out of the side here. What we're going to do here, the theory is, we're going to take just some regular super glue. In this case I have some Het super glue. This is some cheap stuff. You can use more expensive stuff if you want. This just happens to be what I have on hand. Hopefully I have enough here to finish this job. But the idea here is we're going to take this super glue, just common household everyday super glue, and we're going to build up this nut back to its original position. But we're just going to start here with the first layer of super glue, and again it's going to take several layers to build this up. So over time, over the course of the next day or two, if it even takes that long, we're just going to put a layer here. This is layer number 1, and as we go through we'll just name the layers, and you'll get to see how it's built up. So there's layer number 1. And while you're waiting for your glue to dry, sometimes it helps to talk to your baby daughter about how things are going, and you can say, or something like that, and then she'll smile at you all pretty, and sometimes she'll talk back. Won't you? You'll talk back. Yeah. Alright, it's been 2 full days since we put any of this super glue on here. You can see we've built it up just a little bit, but even after 2 days of cure time, it's still a little bit squishy. But it's actually cured enough that we can go ahead and add another layer or 2 to this today. So let's do that. But you can see how much patience this takes. I mean, we've only gone this far in 2 days. So it's probably going to take, a good week of building this up to really make it right. So it'll probably take this video 5 minutes, but it'll be a week in real time. Okay, it's been several days now since we started this project, and as you can see, we've built up this nut with our super glue, and we've actually built it up to above the level that we need, because we're going to file it back down to the level of the rest of the nut. So let's grab our files now and get to work on that. We're going to use a pair of Stuart McDonald nut files. This one's the coarse one, and this one is the fine, extra fine. Okay, the next thing we need to do is figure out where the old slot used to be that's no longer present, and for that we are going to use a string spacing rule. We're going to align this so that the bass is to the bass side and the treble is to the treble side, and we're going to choose some of these markers to try to line them up with the existing ones. You can see they get staggered as we go along here. So those markers are not going to work. They need to be a little closer together. So let's move it this way. And you can see these old marks where I've done these sorts of things before. And this one's close. We've got a little bit of a stagger. We get off a little bit. Let's move it down a little bit more. Let's try right there on the high E. And then see where we are. There's a little bit of a stagger here. That's pretty close. Basically, we're going to look at the high E. So we'll get one lined up with the high E, and then we'll check out the low A, and that looks pretty dead on right there. And we're skipping one, obviously, and each one of those looks correct. So we're going to choose these 6 slots or markers, and we're going to go off of this one here for our low E, and just mark it right above that. So we're going to take our mark, put our feeler gauges down, and cut our new nut slot. So when we do this, we want to start out slowly, and we want to angle the nut slot downward toward the post. If we don't angle it downward, we're likely to get some noises on our strings. So we're going to angle it with the angle of the headstock downward toward the post. But there's our slot. Now we have a full nut, and it looks pretty decent. We have a low E string slot. Now I'm going to let this cure for a couple more days before I try to put a string in here. But when I do, it should be nice and hard and stable. So let's give this a couple more days, another day or two to cure, and then we will put some strings on it and see what this guitar sounds like. Okay, we have this guitar all strung up. We have the nut fixed, as you can see. Everything looks pretty well like it should, and let's just give the guitar a final test before we pack it in. Alright, so that concludes our presentation on how to fix a plastic nut using only super glue and a lot of patience and some other tools. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already done so, click the subscribe button below to get future updates. I have a lot of interesting amplifiers and stuff coming up here soon, so stick around for that. And for now, y'all take care.